Welcome to this Sunday afternoon edition of the NBA here on 2K Sport. A quick check now at the starting lineups for both teams. First for the Spurs, Tony Parker is out there with Green. And in the middle, one of the best ever to man the low block, the big fundamental, number 21, Tim Duncan. Then there's Kawhi Leonard, and it's Diaw in at the four-man position. And for the Heat, Chalmers is out there with Dwayne Wade. And playing at the 5, the always versatile 6'11" star big man, able to score inside and out, Chris Bosh. Then it's LeBron James, and it's Haslam in at the 4 spot. Wade from outside. It's rebounded by Leonard.
Well, I think this is one of the more amazing stats in sports when you think about it. No matter the season or the roster, the Spurs just seem to find ways to win 50 games. They've done it 14 straight seasons now, which is off the charts.
Here's Duncan. Connects with the leaner. Duncan's got the first points up on the board here for the Spurs. San Antonio on defense. And Chalmers kicks to Wade. The jump hook gets it to go. And Clark, as you said, the Spurs last season hitting 50 wins for the 14th consecutive season. Either way, that's an NBA record. Second closest were the Lakers with 12 straight, Steve, from 79 to 91.
Yeah, 58 wins last season for San Antonio. Greg Popovich calls it corporate knowledge, just the consistency that comes with the experience of the group. And they've been together so long, particularly that core, that I think it allows the Spurs to really kind of cruise at times during the regular season.
Down to 5 on the shot clock. LeBron, that's a two-pointer. They get it back. Haslam, Duncan with the block. Leonard kicks to Parker. Back to Leonard. Rebound by the Heat. And here is Chalmers. No good off the back of the rim.
That's now 4 misses on their first 5 attempts. Still trying to find the rhythm and flow here offensively.
And Leonard backs down. Slam home, and he draws the foul. A chance for another point at the free throw line. It's on Chris Bosh.
Boy, he threw out some punishment with that two-hand throwdown.
Well, now's the time to do it. Keep attacking that rim.
The Spurs shooting their first free throw of the game. And the Heat making a change here. Battier's checked in.
Well, what a series it was in the finals a year ago. Such great basketball, two teams that like to play up-tempo. And I'll tell you, the Spurs had Miami. They had the series in the bag. They were one play away from wrapping it up in Game 6, but the miracle comeback from the Heat that led to the Game 7 victory and another title for the Miami Heat.
And Chalmers kicks to Wade. Back to Chalmers. LeBron. He passes it to Chalmers. Good ball movement here by Miami. It's LeBron with the drive. Leonard with the steal. Now here's Diaw. Wade is covering, and Green gets it to go. Clark, it was interesting because the games themselves weren't particularly close through the first half of the series, but things started to get really tight when they left San Antonio after Game 5.
How about that, Kevin? You talk about things tightening up. We had a game for the ages in Game 6. 28.6 seconds to go. The Spurs +5. Miami needed a miracle, and they found it in the form of timely three-point shooting and got some help from the San Antonio Spurs missing some free throws.
The Game 6 was about as intense an NBA game as you'll ever see.
Oh, it was off the chart. Absolutely fantastic. Everything going according to the script for them offensively so far.
Yeah, the shots have been falling, that's for sure. The offense really in a good groove.
And Miami calls their first time out of the game. So San Antonio going with an almost entirely new group here. And we're approaching about 3.5 minutes played in the first quarter. And 2 shots coming up at the line as he gets fouled on the shot.
And what an amazing run it was for the Spurs last year in the postseason. Swept the Lakers, survived Golden State, and then dismantled Memphis on their way to the NBA Finals. And then, of course, were seconds away from another championship banner.
We're seeing today what makes him one of the best free throw shooters among the league's big men. Beautiful stroke.
Ginobili attacking, and he goes in for the dunk.
Huge advantage for them already.
And as well as they've played at both ends so far, this lead might continue to grow.
30 seconds left in the first. Here's Cole. The feed now to Battier. And Mills with a clear path to the hoop. Pass to Ginobili. The dish to Splitter. Leonard. And the pass to Mills. And again, it's the Spurs from deep.
I couldn't have dreamt of a much better start than what they've had here today.
Everything's working, especially offensively, and what a lead they have already to show for it.
And after just 1 quarter of play, a double-digit differential on the scoreboard. Spurs lead by 14. And don't go away. We'll be back with the action for the start of the second quarter in just a moment. Welcome back, everyone. A lopsided first quarter in the books already as we start the second quarter. And let's get your take, guys, on the scoring breakdown for San Antonio.
Boy, the three-point shot has really been dropping for him early on.
And the other thing we're seeing is great ball movement. We're seeing a lot of good offensive execution, ball movement, player movement, setting up assists.
And Doris Burke has something for us. Hey, Doris.
Gentlemen, for Jeremy Lin, 2 seasons ago, it was one of the most abrupt ascents into stardom the league has ever seen. For Lin, though, it wasn't all roses. He said, quote, "I saw how fame changed how people looked at me, and I hated it. I went into a shell. But over time, I was able to get a better perspective." He said, quote, "I won't let any of my friends become a fan. They can support me, but they can't treat me differently than they would treat someone else. And guys, now on a new team, Lin might just be happier now that the hoopla has settled a bit."
Well, Doris, that fan passion can cut both ways. Sometimes you have to take the good with the bad. Udonis Haslem, he's checked in from Miami. Allen dishes to Anderson. Allen's shot is off.
You know, Heat head coach Eric Spoelstra worked his way up from the very bottom in that organization. I mean, he got his start as a video coordinator, and through years of hard work and dedication has really become an outstanding coach.
Leonard, the pass to Mills. His 3-pointers off the mark. The Heat trail by 12. Beasley outside. The shot by Allen. Cans the shot with nobody near him. And back to Coach Eric Spoelstra as a guy who got his start as a video coordinator, picking the game apart. Steve, he's very comfortable with the new advanced stat movement, analytics in the NBA.
Yeah, and I've had a chance to speak with him quite a bit. He says that the way they use advanced stats is just as a conversation piece in the coaching room. Their analytics department will bring them various information, and it will force them to ask questions, which is very healthy for a coaching staff to do.
Beasley, he's covered by Leonard. Beasley kicks to Cole. Shot clock at 6. And the lead is down inside single digits. Cole's got himself on the board with 3 there. Spurs leading by 9. Back to Leonard. He feeds it to Mills. Ginobili. Spurs working the ball around now. Diaw dishes to Splitter.
Well, this guy has a huge bag of tricks that he can dip into on the low block. He's really mastered an array of complicated moves.
And that makes him a splendid, supreme scoring threat in the post. I mean, he baits the hook, and the defenders almost always are biting. It's a beautiful thing to watch.
He's off on the second.
A lot of people thought the East would be a cakewalk for Miami last year, but Indiana made sure that wasn't going to be the case. What a series with the Pacers using their size and strength to pound Miami down low. Eventually, the Heat were able to pull it out, but boy, was that a tough series.
And the Heat call time here.
He needs to get them back into a flow offensively. You know, things have gotten stagnant for them, and they're starting to force some of these shots.
And that can snowball on you. One guy takes a bad shot, then another guy does, and then you're missing back-to-back-to-back shots, and all of a sudden, you have no rhythm and you're self-inflicting wound.
Tim Duncan, he's checked in for San Antonio. Parker comes in for Patrick Mills. And just to touch back on the Eastern Conference Finals, went to a Game 7 where Miami ran away with the game. But, you know, Clark, if it weren't for the heroics of LeBron earlier in the series, it could have been the Pacers that took on San Antonio in the finals.
You know, I was thinking a little bit about two former ABA teams meeting in the NBA Finals, but the Heat managed to steal Game 1, and I thought that proved to be the difference in the end. That was a game the Pacers had and didn't squeeze. But the way these two teams are constructed, they should be seeing a lot more of each other in the near future. And I think that's great for the league because whenever they meet up in the regular season or the playoffs, it's always been a battle the last couple of years.
Nice rivalry developing between those two.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
A good one brewing there.
Ginobili the pass to Bellinelli. That falls. Nice feed that time for Manu Ginobili. Bellinelli's got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball. 40 seconds left in the second quarter. Feeds it to Chalmers. He kicks it to Wade. Pass to LeBron. Back to Wade. He dishes it to LeBron. Six to shoot. Wade kicks to LeBron. And the Heat, another three.
They're going back to the three-point shot over and over and over.
That was the 9th straight point from behind the arc, Clark. It feels like they're finding the holes in this defense.
Bellinelli dishes to Parker. Passes it to Bellinelli. Back to Parker. And Bellinelli kicks to Bonner. Pass to Duncan. And the defense didn't have position. They whistle a blocking foul, and he'll go to the line. This is his first free throw of the game. That one is off. The Heat making a switch here. No good at the stripe this time. Second misses also. And the first half is now in the books. It's the Spurs up by 7. We're going to step away briefly, but get you right back out here for the start of the third quarter after our halftime.
And now, brought to you by Sprint.
And we play 2 quarters out at American Airlines Arena, and a great game is in progress for our halftime show. San Antonio on top against Miami. Their passing has been the key. Great playmaking all around. Kawhi Leonard with some valuable contributions. He's carved up the D like a hot knife through a warm cliche. Great play so far. And a tough matchup, but the Heat staying afloat. And defensively, they've done a good job grabbing rebounds, limiting second chances. The first half, a productive one for LeBron. His shooting percentage hovering right around 50%. It's awfully good, heads and tails. That'll be all for us here at the studios as we head back to the start of the third quarter with Kevin, Steve, Clark, and Doris. Thanks so much for joining me.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
Welcome back to Miami, Florida, and the American Airlines Arena.
Only 3 teams in the entire Eastern Conference had a better than 500 record against the West, and no surprise the Heat were one of those 3, and they were dominant against Western Conference opponents all year long.
Kicks it to bottom. Tipped and stolen by LeBron. Oh, and a fast break for the Heat. Wade with the ball, and the touch by LeBron.
Textbook example there of how to use defense to create offense.
Yeah, beautiful transition play after the steal all the way to the basket.
Wasted no time going from defense to offense.
Yeah, it feels like they're starting to pick up the intensity as the game itself starts to get a little more tight and close.
And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. Doris, over to you.
Well, as you know, gentlemen, Greg Popovich is one of the foremost practitioners of the intentional fouling that sends poor free throw shooters to the line. Not exactly a fan favorite, and Pop says, quote, I think it's ugly, I think it's awful, but it's legal, it's there. If somebody doesn't want to get hacked, they should shoot free throws better. Guys, he's all about winning. Whether it's pretty or ugly, he doesn't care.
They wear you down, Doris. Thank you so much. Here's what San Antonio's going with right now. Boris Diaz checked in for Matt Bonner. Kawhi Leonard comes in for Marco Bellinelli. And it's Green in for Manu Ginobili. Mark, adding on to what you were saying about the Heat versus the West, they ended up 25-5, which is incredible, Steve, given how many tough teams that are in the Western Conference.
That's amazing, Kevin. They had a better record against the West than they did against the East in terms of their winning percentage. So I think that speaks to just how motivated Miami was when they went out on the road to the West in particular to really show everybody how good they were.
And count it, the shot is good. He'll go to the free throw line.
Defender a little hesitant to offer resistance as he bursts to the hoop. You know, the Spurs really have a cohesive culture, and part of that is something that Greg Popovich has been able to do, and that's being able to join guys together that normally might not hang out. For instance, you had Matt Bonner taking Steven Jackson out to a Coldplay concert last season. One way to help guys get to know each other off the court, and it helps them on the court.
Draw off the pick from Diaw. Elbow shot. That is good. And the Spurs lead by 9.
Great job of utilizing that screen and finding space to knock down the jumper. Good basketball.
Wade passes to Bosch. Back to Wade. Good ball movement here by Miami. Such a wide open look. Lewis has got 5 now. And back to Popovich and the Spurs, he really makes a point of getting to know his players and have them get to know one another.
That's right, Kevin. He likes to have his players have a sense of perspective about the world. He wants them to know that there are other things going on besides the NBA. In fact, back in 2012, he had the players watching the presidential debates together. They've had the hotter hand in the first half so far, no question.
Yeah, it's because of all the high percentage shots they've been working for and getting.
Back to Bosch. Dishes it to Chalmers. 1:21 left in the third. Bosch can't hit.
An easy look there, but, you know, he misses those once in a while.
Diaw dishes to Green. Deflects the pass, and Diaw gets to Green. Parker. He passes to Diaw. Green. Wade is covering. Just 4 to shoot. Back to Parker. Duncan with the screen for Parker. Gets it to go. Parker's got his second basket.
Well, we've seen that more than a few times. An easy bucket in the lane.
Yeah, the interior defense simply has been lifeless.
Chalmers against Parker. Outside Lewis. Offensive rebound. San Antonio calls the first timeout of the game.
The Spurs have always been very mindful of resting key players during the regular season. Some of it has to do with age of their players. Some of it is regarding talent because they knew they were a playoff team most years. And you look at the research, there is something to be said for not playing guys when they're fatigued because injuries are more likely if you play tired.
Looking at who's out there now for the Spurs. Splitters checked in for Duncan. And it's Matt Bonner in for Boris Diaw. The Spurs shooting their 7th and 8th free throw attempts for the game right here. And he makes both free throws. In the third quarter with just over 3.5 minutes off the clock. Leonard against LeBron. Cole. The feed to Wade. The dish out to Cole. Back to Wade. And that's out of bounds. Miami will retain possession. From deep. No good on the buzzer beater. Well, through 3 quarters of play, down double digits, it may be difficult to overcome. Spurs lead by 12. Back after this from the American Airlines Arena. And welcome back to the NBA on 2K Sports. More action in store as the players get ready to go. Having a nice break to get hydrated with Gatorade. And Steve and Clark and I are refreshed and ready to go here as well. And now we'll get perspective here on how the hustle game has been going for San Antonio.
You know, block shots, guys, a clear indicator on the stat sheet of their excellent defense. I mean, leaving them no room to get off any shots.
And the other thing they're doing, Clark, is scoring a lot of points off turnovers, forcing mistakes and cashing in.
Well, when you have the best record in the league, you're going to be the most dominant, one of the most dominant teams at home. The Heat just destroyed people down in Miami, and only the Denver Nuggets had more wins at home than the Heat did.
Ray Allen is checked in for Dwayne Wade.
You know, something we're seeing less and less of these days, that little finger roll.
And it's blocked by Anderson. The pass to Cole. Good, and the assist goes to LeBron. Cole's got 5 points in the quarter. And how crazy is that from the Heat to win as many games as they did last season, but still be second in the league in home wins? Still, we're far and away #1 at home in the East.
Well, yeah, the Knicks were the closest team in the East, but they still have 6 fewer wins at home than Miami. But the Heat really just did what they had to do to put themselves in position to go on to their second NBA title in a row.
It seems like they're finding an open lane to the hoop every time down. It's 5 buckets in a row for them in the paint.
Yeah, on the flip side, Steve, the defenders have to show more fight on the interior.
And the Spurs making a change here. Let's go quickly over to Doris Burke for an update.
Guys, over that last break, I listened to Eric Spoelstra address his team. He got after them and told them to turn up the intensity, saying, we put ourselves in a corner, and now we've got to fight our way out. Show me what you have. Let's see if we've got what it takes, guys.
And Mills kicks to Bellinelli. Nailed from three-point land.
I like the offensive awareness to exploit that lack of coverage on that play.
Back to Bosch. All sorts of time. It's rebounded by Mills. San Antonio leading by 11. Ginobili kicks to Mills. Bonner. Nice ball movement by San Antonio.
There we go.
And it's off from three-point range. The drive by Bosch.
Way to play in attack mode and get inside.
And you know, if you're on defense and you're going to foul, make sure it's a good one. They did, preventing the and one.
And that one falls for Bosch. So San Antonio goes with a fresh 5 on the floor. He's perfect from the line this time.
He's a dead eye at the line, fellas. Just call him automatic. He doesn't miss many of those.
Parker passes to Diop. And it's good on the assist by Parker. And the Spurs lead by 11.
He kind of threaded the needle with that pass into the paint.
LeBron against Leonard. The drive by Allen. Gets it to go. We're in the fourth quarter here. Just under 2.5 minutes gone. Leonard dishes to Duncan. He feeds it to Diop. Parker. He kicks to Diop. 5 to shoot. Back to Parker. Diop. He's guarded by Battier. The fadeaway. It's rebounded by Bosch. The Heat trail by 9. Back to Chalmers. Allen left side. Feeds it to LeBron. Pass to Bosch. Rejected by Diop. 55 seconds left to play here in the fourth. Leonard on the wing. Defended by Allen. Leonard attacking. And that one is stuffed right through.
This is going to be a great game for them. No win on the road comes easy in the NBA. Nice performance.
Any player loves sending his own fans home happy. He loves even more sending opposing fans home miserable.
Here's Chalmers. The feather touch on the finger roll. Beautiful.
Gotta love the finger roll up and over the defense.
The Spurs have gone 5 of 8 shooting as we've come down the home stretch in this final quarter. Green kicks to Parker. Duncan left side. Changes up. And the layup is up and in.
Just look at how quickly their lead has grown over the course of the last few possessions.
Boy, they've really saved their best for last, haven't they?
From outside the arc. And there's Battier. That's good on the assist by LeBron. Tries to keep it alive. 17 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Duncan kicks to Leonard. Outside Green. He dishes it to Diop. Parker. Outside Leonard. Passes to Duncan. He's up against Bosch. Back to Leonard. And so it's San Antonio with the win. They pulled off this win, Clark, with respectable performances on both ends of the floor.
Yeah, I think it was just really a nice overall effort, Kevin.
Well, it's time to say so long. For Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke,